This Sunday, massive game, of course, at the Emirates. It's Arsenal against Liverpool. 4:30 kickoff for that. Jurgen Klopp's men head to North London with a 5-point advantage over Arsenal and Manchester City after they cruise past Chelsea 4-1 on Wednesday night. Interesting team news from Klopp, who's just spoken ahead of this match on Sunday, and it features one player in particular.
I don't know if Darwin is available or not, because Darwin had, after 20 minutes, somebody stepped on his foot, and was very painful after the game. That was late in the game, super decisive for us, super important for us. The run he makes, the way he gets in front of that defender, that's outstanding. Not being bothered about your own bad luck or whatever, just staying in the game. And after the game, we can talk about everything, what we could have done better in this moment or that moment, but staying in the game, and that's what he did. And I'm more than happy with him. It's just an interesting story. I get that 100%. Breaking a record for a crossbar is not a record you want to have, but if you have it, it just shows you're as close as it gets to score. And that's exactly Darwin's situation. He will score.
So that was Jurgen Klopp a few moments ago saying Darwin Núñez may not be available to him for the game against Arsenal on Sunday. How much of a miss would he be, Martin Keown?
Yeah, it would be an enormous miss. I think he's a fantastic talent. He keeps on hitting the post. I don't know if he stubbed his toe on the post, and that's the injury, but the sort of luck he's having at the moment, it's not great. 10 times hitting the post, 4 against Chelsea. But he's creating the opportunities, and I just like the way that Klopp just fronts it up. Let's talk about it. The elephant in the room. Why are we trying to avoid it? He's been unlucky. I think he needs to be more ruthless, but I think the difference maybe between Arsenal and Liverpool is that their front players now have just started to chip in. Jota, looks really, he looks secure in front of goal with the Salah not being available. Gakpo as well is turning up. Diaz, and they needed to, because I didn't think they were so reliant on Salah, and now he's not there. You needed people to step up, and they've done that in their absence. And some of the young players coming in at Liverpool are inspired right now.
Yeah. So if Liverpool go there and beat Arsenal, let's say they beat Arsenal. Would that defeat?
Who's thinking that?
Would that defeat mean it's game over for Arsenal?
Well, I don't even know why you really want to bring that up, Jim, because I'm looking at it as a positive, not a negative. I think if Arsenal can win this game, they get to within 2 points of Liverpool. You can't be thinking any other way. When you create,
from an Arsenal perspective, but if Liverpool win it, Martin, there would be an 8-point gap between.
Well, let's talk
clubs.
about that next Friday if that happens. But really, what I'm looking at is the same performance from Arsenal as they had in the FA Cup, but actually put the ball in the back of the net this time. The approach play was different class in that game. The tactics were spot on. Klopp actually made some really good adjustments in that game in the second half. So it'd be interesting to see tactically how that one is going to pan out.
The reason I ask it is that you have to think it's a very good chance of happening that Liverpool go there and win, because they're unbeaten in the last 11.
Yeah, but this is the opportunity. I see it as an opportunity. If I'm still, in there, a competitor, I'm looking at this game thinking, right, okay, we close the gap here now. Okay, you're looking over your shoulder a little bit at Man City, because they start to change gear, as we know that they do. They're quite prolific at this time of the year with the squad that they have, and they've been the course in the past. But Liverpool haven't really, have they? Their front six are pretty new.
But it's an interesting framing of a conversation, because it's the league's leaders against the league's bottlers. So what we're trying to understand is if Arsenal can overcome that. Because if Liverpool do win this game, which I picked them to do, and I know that in the game against the FA Cup, which would be the blueprint for it, Arsenal were very dominant in the first half and created lots of chances. But
do you think professional sportsmen? I mean, we're in an arena here with lots of boxers. Do you think they bottle it? Do you think professionals?
Yeah, of course they do.
I don't think so.
Of course they do.
I don't think so at all. I think they give their best.
Well, yeah,
I think actually
giving your best and bottling it.
Yeah, but I think you've got to
exclusive.
look at we're looking at Man City, and they've got 5 trophies next to the pitch when they went to.
Because they didn't bottle it.
Sheffield United could hardly get on the pitch. There were so many trophies on the sideline. Yep. So we're looking at a team, that's maybe 1 in a million team that the era that we're seeing.
So when
right
you're
now,
top of the league,
and Arsenal weren't able to beat
when you're
them.
top of the league, and you're in a run-in, and your destiny's in your own hands, and you start to lose games against sides that are nowhere near the quality of you, what would you categorise that as? I would say it was a psychological weakness that they didn't overcome the adversity of the opportunity to win the league, because Man City won the league because Arsenal handed it back to them.
Man City went on an incredible run. You have to admit that what they did
Arsenal,
as well at the end
Arsenal's
of the season.
destiny
They put Arsenal to the sword.
Arsenal were defending. The games between Arsenal and Man City didn't determine the outcome of the league. You saw the difference between the two sides, because in the first game, Man City were offensively better, and in the second game, defensively, Arsenal were poor at the Etihad because they had Rob Holding at centre back. But the point is, they didn't lose the league because of the 2 games they lost between Man City and Arsenal. They lost the league because they went on a run of games against
we can go into
sides,
the minute detail.
Which is bottling it.
Saliba wasn't available, and Arsenal suddenly were conceding lots more goals. The number of shot conversions, it was a different situation for Arsenal, and what it demonstrated is that the squad wasn't strong enough. And we may well
Mentally,
we may be in the same territory here because it's a very thin squad that Arsenal have right now. Partey not available, Timber not available, Vieira not available. So Marquinhos, by the way, has come back from his loan period, a young Brazilian on the wing, and I expect him to use him. Smith Rowe was given an opportunity in midweek, and I hope he gets another one.
So it's a big test for Arsenal, whatever way you look at it. Liverpool on form, going there on Sunday, unbeaten in 11.
They're purring right now. It's a tough game, but you've got to relish these moments. You can't fear it, Jim. You have to embrace it, take it head on, and you have to win the game. Without doubt, Arsenal need to win this game.
Yep. Arteta was pretty blunt with the media this week, Martin, when it was pointed out that with Xavi leaving Barcelona, there might be an opportunity for him there. Did you like the way he came out and said, forget that, that's fake news, I'm not interested?
Well, I'd expect that. I'd expect him to do that. He's got an enormous opportunity. He's got so much power there and control right now. And it is a case of one wondered was there a striker going to come in. I get it, I understand maybe now's not the moment, but I'm pretty certain in the summer he'll be backed and there'll be another big piece coming in that jigsaw puzzle. Whether or not the pitch is perfect this year to win the title is another matter. I did say that I thought City would win it. Liverpool now making the best fist of it, but Arsenal's certainly not out of it.
Do you take Liverpool to win on Sunday, Simon?
Yes,
yeah.
I do. Yeah,
I think of course he does.
No, I'm a Londoner, so why would I want Liverpool to win? I've got nothing but admiration for the London football clubs. I'm a Southerner. I can constantly make a rod for my own back by derailing the North. So I'm going to look for the...
I thought you were a Hull fan.
No, most certainly I'm not.
But Arsenal invincible. Martin Keown will take Arsenal because it's Arsenal.
Yes. That's the sole focus.
Well, let's see what
Fair
happens.
enough. Well, let's see what happens. Absolutely.
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Friday mornings from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.